Yes, people, what's going on? You're here with myself, Guni, and Younes. And surprise, surprise, I'm not surprised because if you had watched, my back again, where I said I had no zero confidence of a win, and I wouldn't even be surprised if it came away with 0 points. I'm sticking to that. Here we are. I think Eunice, you and I, we discussed this as well. Both of us were not optimistic of any kind of win. Yet here we are. We have been proved right in the worst way imaginable. We've just lost 1-0 to Everton at Goodison Park. Granted, they have something to play for. Granted, they needed that for their survival. Now they're in control of their own destiny. What needs to happen is now they need to win, I believe, all the games between now and the end of the season. So that's 4 games left. It's doable for them.
Yep.
But yeah, we have given them the impetus to stay up. We have given Frank Lampard something else to brag about now. And yeah, we ourselves are in a very, very worrying position. Although we do need 6 points to mathematically secure top four. Eunice, where are we getting these 6 points from?
It's mad because we look at the fixture list and you think yeah, Chelsea should be able to beat Watford and Leicester. and
Oh, no.
But yeah, we should have beaten Arsenal, we should have beaten United, and we should have beaten Everton. And yeah, we should have probably played better against West Ham, but we didn't. Even though we got a last minute winner. Yeah, we should have beaten Brentford. We didn't. We got caked at the Bridge. Yeah, it's mad. We just need, as far as I'm concerned, we need the season to just end. This is getting a bit mad now. This is
absolutely.
Getting
I said to Eunice off camera as well. As far as I'm concerned, for me this season, 6 points is the target. That's it. You see, after them 6 points are got, if we accumulate them 6 points, nothing else exists. You see the way we're playing this FA Cup final, that don't even exist to me, bruv. For me, I'm looking at it as a friendly.
Yeah.
I'm prepared to get smoked on that day. When I tell you, I'm prepared for this to be one of those finals that could be historical in terms of scoreline and just embarrassment. That's how bad I think this is. Because look, bruv, it reared its head again. Individual errors FC. Everton's press is not even, I wouldn't even say a fraction close to what Liverpool can do, because you saw the way because I'm going off the example of the way they press Villarreal. They press this shit out of them, and I haven't seen. Look, Arsenal fans are calling my phone now. I just can't be asked. Yeah. So now imagine Jurgen Klopp knows. Look, Azpi starts this, there's a mistake in him. Christensen starts this, there's a mistake in him. Mendy's on the ball too long, there's a mistake in him.
Yep.
You see what I mean? Alonso's on the ball too long, dwelling is a mistake in him. Press that. And this is the thing: Liverpool need one chance, one goal from all three of their attackers, bruv. Not just a Cristiano Ronaldo like Manchester United had.
Not just three. They've got three and the ones on the bench.
And
if they want, Salah will take it. No, it's all right. No, Mane will take it. No, it's all right. Firmino, if he's there, he'll take it. No, it's all right. Jota will take it. No, it's all right. Diaz will take it. No, it's all right. Even Origi will take it.
Yep. So this is what I'm saying. But let's look at today's game, right?
Yeah.
And now we have to be fair and objective in this at this point and say, as much as I want to blame the players, and I am going to, I'm going to start asking questions about Tommy T now, bruv.
I'm curious. In what way?
Personnel. Because let me tell you what was criminal today and what has been criminal over the past few games.
Yeah.
Why is Trevor still sitting down on that bench and just selecting Malang Sarrs and Azpilicuetas over him when they're done out here, fam? Why?
I agree with that.
And games of this magnitude where you've seen it in the past 2 games, it's not worked. We've gotten away with murder in some situations and still not got positive results, but yet you're persisting with this guy. Why? Because he wears the armband?
I'm guessing.
Is there not a Thiago Silva who's more senior than him, in better shape than him, and who's more switched on than him, and who has led for most of his fucking career, bruv, and who's won a Champions League with this team? Give him the Rasclar armband. even if it's not him, yeah, even if it's not Thiago Silva and you're worried about that, give it to Mace, give it to Reece James.
Jorginho started. He was the vice captain.
I don't want him to touch that armband. No, he can't. He can't. Can't touch that armband. That guy, nah, brother. He can't. He can't. This is what I'm saying. This is the issue why we are where we are, brother. We're
Oh
giving the
man.
armband to people, yeah, outside of Azpilicueta, because listen, I
Yeah.
ain't not gonna question his legendary status. Take away his legendary status. Yeah.
Yeah, of
Ain't
course.
got the power to do that. Nobody has.
No.
That man is a legend. He done everything there is to do at this club, and he'll always have my respect. But bruv, what happens when we lean on history FC and sympathy FC? We get another situation of Ivanovic.
Yes, that's true. Because Ivanovic's legs were gone by the
Shot
end.
to
They
pieces.
They basically didn't exist anymore, bro. Like,
Shot to
it felt
pieces.
painful seeing him play. Yeah.
He was shot to pieces. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you see why I refuse to put any blame on that man is because the board failed him.
Yeah.
He never failed himself. He was asked to put on that shirt and do what he could do for the team, and that's what he did until his legs couldn't carry him no more. By then it was by then it was Chelsea. It was their responsibility to make sure that doesn't happen. Watch this. You see what makes Man City so good and Liverpool so good in terms of their recruitment? It's not just that they identify what they need to fit in the squad. It's that they recruit early. They recruit at a time where they don't need that player for a season or two. So when the time does come, people are saying, oh yeah, Grealish is a flop. Rodri was a flop, this and that. When Rodri came in the first season to Manchester City, they didn't really need him. Fernandinho was still on his last legs, but he could do a job. They didn't really need him. So they allowed him that time to people call him a flop, whatever. But you can hide the performances with a fit Fernandinho who's still doing his thing, or whoever may be who's doing this thing. Yeah. Give him that season, your season and a half, to get used to the pace of the Premier League, to not have too much pressure. Now he's going to walk into the team. He's done that, hasn't he? Perfectly. People saying the same shit about Jack Grealish. Oh, Jack Grealish, this and that. Oh, he's a flop. Look, you paid 100 million for him. Why are you judging him now? He was not bought for now. When you look at it, Jack's not bought. He can make an impact now, but in the long term of things, him starting week in, week out, that's not a Man City thing. Unless you are an exceptional player in that position, then you're going to come in there and start week in, week out.
And even now, there's doubts in terms of Sterling's future. Mahrez is being targeted. Like, if any of those lads were to go, Grealish just walks right in.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And Alex Ferguson, let's be real. Alex Ferguson built United on that model consistently. Like, if you clock, United went from the class of 99 to Ronaldo, Rooney, and all them lot without anyone really realizing. it fades, and then after that it just fades. You know, all of a sudden Ji-sung Park is there, and United are still at the top, and it's like, right, well, how did that happen then? It's that model.
Yeah,
Chelsea need to learn how to do it. Yeah,
and I know the people that are watching, you know, like we're kind of diverting from the game, but there's a lot of reasons that have stemmed from seasons and seasons ago why we're here now, and I feel it's important that we really look at these things now. Younes, my thing is that, look, you go to Everton, you're against Frank Lampard, who is struggling for survival. Now, there's fans out there, believe it or not, Chelsea fans out there that said, yeah, let's lose and do Lampard a favor so we ain't got relegation on this thing. Fuck that. I don't give a shit about all of that. Yeah, we got to deal with what we're dealing with, what's on our table. Yep. Yeah, even if we're at the top with 97 points, you think I'm ever going to have that mentality? No, I want the 100. And anybody in the way, nah, there's no sympathy for that whatsoever. But just to put that aside, yeah, the personnel that we had today was strong enough to beat that team. 100%. Nobody can tell me otherwise.
Completely.
What I saw up front, and I'm going to start on one of my favorite players, Kai Havertz. I'm gonna be careful what I say here, because the two things I want to put up is, one, he is still a young player. Two, he is not a natural striker. But that doesn't excuse the standards that I've seen from this player. For him to be missing and getting into position as much as he has and squandering opportunities. Yep. This has gone from Kai's kicking on and building form and not looking back to maybe it was just a purple patch.
Yeah.
What is going on? Lukaku today, and the reason why I bring that up is Lukaku puts in that performance today. He gets slaughtered.
Yeah.
He was bullied all day. Yerry Mina had him on strings. Mentally and physically had him on strings. Havertz was pushing out, kicking out, expressing his frustration. My bro, this is what I say about personnel. He's not a fan favorite, no. But when you actually look physique for physique and what he's able to do, maybe we did need Lukaku in that box. Who else would be more equipped to deal with a Yerry Mina?
This is the difficult thing because on the day itself, perhaps there's been days where we've done it the opposite and it's not worked, you know, or there's been days where we don't select any of them and it's not worked. I feel like this is the story of our season. Like, it's like on days not too long ago, everyone was screaming. All right, let's go with Mount, Havertz, and Werner. It worked, and it worked, and now it doesn't. And not long ago, where people were screaming, "Okay, no, Timo needs to be given a chance because Lukaku just doesn't bang." Okay, Lukaku's not working. We'll bring on Timo. All right, now it looks like it's working. Now it's not working. Oh no, we need Lukaku on the pitch. Lukaku comes on against West Ham, has a good impact. Pulisic too. Prior to that, oh no, but we can't play Pulisic. Oh no, but Pulisic's on the pitch. Oh no, he's doing well. But then he plays and he's like, okay, now he's looking blank. This is the problem. And this is why I'm not going hard on TT completely. Like there are elements like the Chalobah thing I completely agree with. In my preview, I put Chalobah to start.
He had to. This is the thing. He had to. Now this goes. Now, Younes is obviously this is a bit of an extreme situation, but it's mirror. It's almost starting to mirror what's happened here. I got onto Arteta when the way he treated Balogun and the way he treated Tavares. Although the Tavares thing looks like it's
starting to
starting to work out.
Yeah,
to an extent. See what I mean? But the Balogun situation, this is a promising young striker that's come into the Premier League, first debut season, and you've put him up against Brentford. Granted, I get it. Injury selection meant he had to play. You get me? So he had to play the game. He had a stinker, given his age, but you've never seen him put on an Arsenal shirt again after that. Trevor Chalobah has put in for me, performances below 6 out of 10 are unacceptable for me, and he's put in 2. And I think I'm even being harsh by saying 2. But when you weigh up and you look at the magnitude of certain games he's had man of the match performances in, and all the other good games that he has played, at what point do you start saying, do you know what? Me putting in Trevor might be better than putting in Azpilicueta. Look at the mistakes that this guy's making. Surely Trevor's hungry, wants to redeem himself and step back into this lineup. Yeah. Come on, fam. You see what I mean? So there's that. Another thing is now I'm starting to question this, is week in, week out, we're complaining about the speed of the transition. How is our counter-attack the same pace as when the other team has 10 men behind the ball? Tell me how.
It's insane. And that's the one thing I look at. And I just question them. Well, I question the mentality, because the speed that we required, that we needed to play with, not just today, but the other games, is exactly what we had against Real Madrid, for example. Mm-hmm. We had it. We can do it. But that's where we're in a situation when our backs are against the wall, when we have to perform, when players have to look within, and there's no choice. Like Everton today, they had no choice. Hence why it was expected. All of us had it.
Was a risk.
We knew.
But completely. Liverpool did too.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But Liverpool did too. Right. But why? And this is the thing. It shouldn't be taboo me speaking about Chelsea on that level, but now it's becoming that. Each week that passes by, each one of those Liverpool and Man City fan has a right to say, bruv, you can't talk about us in the same sentence no more. It's at that point, bruv.
Yeah, it is.
You see what I'm saying? Now, going back to the tactics, yeah? The best football and best formation that we have seen under this team, yeah? Now, I'm not entirely convinced it's down to the occasion as well. But what we saw against Real Madrid, I wanted to see that lineup ever since, and we've probably seen it implemented once. It works. It works so well. The personnel that was in the team, the intensity, the speed of the counter attacks. Because today I stopped counting at 4 or 5 opportunities where we had opportunity to counter. If we had just moved the ball quicker, Younes, sometimes it takes 3 passes to get from your box and get a finish. We could have done it 3 or 4 times today. But you know what kept on happening? The ball's tangled under somebody's feet. The pass has gone too far wide. The pass has gone too far forward. The pass is played into a player that's under pressure. The pass is over here. When is this gonna fucking stop?
Exactly. Whereas against Madrid, for example, we didn't have any of these issues. We were fantastic. So we can do it. So what's changed? With the same personnel, what's changed? It's baffling. And I honestly, I have to bring it down back to mentality, because in a situation where I think there's a lot of the squad that are looking and going, it's fine. Yeah, third's wrapped up pretty much. Yeah, we've just got the cup final, and they just bring themselves down when they shouldn't. Like, realistically, what we demand and what they should be demanding themselves is we keep staying at the highest level. Now, I'm starting to question whether a lot of these lads are actually capable of consistency at the highest level.
Oh no,
clearly they're not.
No.
We thought they were, and that's where at the beginning of the season we were like, yeah, our squad looks minted, our squad looks fantastic. We were all fooled. But that's why that's the number one point now where I am screaming for the season to end and for a transfer window to begin and for the new owners to come in with a plan. I'm screaming for this now, man, because in that way for next season we can properly plan and start bringing in some talent and some lads that we know are going to fit mentally and in terms of the way that we play on how to take this team forward. Because it's some players now look moving like they're just not up to it.
Yeah, and we're gonna come on to those players in some stage after I read the super chat. Shafi, I don't know if you're referring to me. I couldn't care less, brother. Thomas Tuchel should not be fired from Chelsea Football Club. Yeah, so there's nobody turning on him in that sense. But I don't care if you're Michael Jackson, Sir Alex Ferguson reincarnated, or whoever you want to call yourself. You are not immune from criticism when you are managing the club that I love this much. Nobody's immune for criticism at all. And I'll tell you this now. If I see this ship is starting to go to pot with Thomas Tuchel, I'll call for him out as well. Same way I called for Lampard out. Way before getting popular as well. Do not get it twisted.
I would say on one condition. This is what I've my opinion anyway. Once he's managed to get lads through the door who he's identified or they've identified for him in order for him to carry out what he wants to do.
Yep.
If it flops, then
that's when questions
shifts
start to
onto
be asked.
Absolutely shifts onto the manager, and that's what I've done on the Lamps. That's what I've done under all the other managers. That's my logic anyway.
100%.
I'm waiting for that. But I hope it doesn't get there.
100%.
Yeah.
So today again, look, from the whistle blew, Everton was just out of the blocks. The press was just intense, absolutely intense. And you know what time it was. But you know what I will say, there were spells where when they put their hardest press in, they were doing the right thing. One touch football, one touch football, getting out of the press, no problem. Yeah, that set the precedent for the game for me. It was like, okay, obviously Everton came out and they expected us to be, folding under the press. We done well. We resisted that. Then it turned from that to Chelsea now holding possession. This is another topic that I want to talk about amongst this fan base.
Oh my God.
This thing about possession. But we had 71% possession at the end of the game. We had 81% possession at the end of the game. How many shots did we have on target? And how many of those, most importantly, went in the back of the net? And how many points did we get at the end of it? Do you think Barcelona would have given a shit with all that pretty football and no goals?
Fact.
This is where we're at now. We're dominating possession, but teams don't care. As long as we've got the ball in front of their defense, teams don't care.
We've turned into what we used to criticize Arsenal for. You remember?
Yeah.
Years ago. What are you going to do with all that possession? Nothing. We're coming over to your gaff and we're winning 1-0 and we're taking it. See you later. And we used to gas so much about that. We used to be so happy about being able to go nick 1-0 with 30% possession. He's like, yeah, you can't touch us.
Yeah.
We're taking 3 points.
Yeah.
That's gone now. What's happened? I appreciate you want to see good football. I appreciate that, there's a way of playing, cool, but we shouldn't praise having possession and doing nothing with it. We just shouldn't. That's just not how it is.
No, we absolutely shouldn't. Reece James today, I'll tell you where he disappointed me is that he's doing that thing that I hate the most. Is you've got a defender in front of you, but yet you're cracking a shot off. Why?
It happens with a lot of our lads.
Why?
I don't know why, bro. But it gets on my nerves.
Hudson-Odoi was king of that shit.
Exactly.
Now Reece James is doing the same shit. For me, I can't. The only player, and even at the first half, I was like, this guy needs to get off the pitch. The only guy that had any kind of redemption for me was Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and he had a 6 out of 10 for me today.
And that goes to I was just about to say, because it wasn't a blinder.
No,
but it was the best of the worst. Like, yeah, if he had players around him that had good performances, he would have looked average today. But at least he'd done some good things.
He did,
and that's what we've come down to. We've come down to, oh no, yeah, you know what, he was all right because he done a couple of good things.
I mean, aside from, listen, I'm going to give Everton some credit here. They defended staunchly. They did. Their sports psychology up here, they was bang on point. They had us on strings, especially our attack. They had us on strings. And in terms of Jordan Pickford,
if he plays like that at the World Cup, we're in good hands.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That save that he made from Azpilicueta, to me, was a good save, very good save. But you see,
world class.
You see why I'm giving that. I'm not too upset about that. It's because of the position Azpilicueta plays. Had that had been a Lukaku or one of our attackers, I would have fumed. Because you know what you're supposed to do there, especially when you know the keeper's coming across goal. Roof it. Aguero was king at that. Yeah. He roofed the ball in the near put when he didn't have to. That's the finish you need. Roof it. The keeper's not getting that, but it's Azpilicueta. I'm not going to say nothing about that. The Rudiger opportunity, the angle was closed again. That was Rudiger done what he needed to do. He absolutely slapped it, and that was actually going. He weren't going bottom corner. He was actually trying to put that above the goalkeeper, but the goalkeeper
hit Pickford in the face.
Yeah, slapped it in his face. Boom. That was it. So the opportunities were there to score, but 2 clear-cut opportunities against the relegation fight in Everton, against the European or world champions Chelsea. This is not good enough, mate.
Might I add, they're both from defenders again.
Unbelievable.
When will this end?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And Arsenal have just won, by the way. So
so it's the final result 1-0, yeah?
2-1.
2-1. Okay, well. Listen, this episode.
They're now 3 points behind us. Level.
Oh yeah. They might finish above us. 3rd place is not safe. Neither's 4th, by the way. Let's not get it twisted. I'm hearing people say, Spurs are gonna say, if out of the 3 teams that I'm seeing playing, we're the worst. We're the worst out of 3 by far, and it's not even close. It's not even close. The Kai Havertz header again. If you don't score that, you get that on target.
Yeah, again, all due respect, if Lukaku misses that like we've seen him do before, he gets roasted. In the way that he did as well, because he didn't even go on target. He didn't. Been finished. I would have finished it myself. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So Kai Havertz for me is exempt from he gets criticism today. Yeah, absolutely, he does. And I'm not going to say maybe he needs a rest, this and that and the other. No, this is the business end of the season. I don't want to hear about rest.
Thank you. Oh my, the amount I'm hearing of that, I'm like, do you know what you signed up for? This isn't new. You start watching football yesterday. I never heard of this whole rest thing. Not even 5-6 seasons ago. That wasn't a thing at the business end of the season. Now we're talking. Oh no, yeah, the 21-year-old at the peak of the season needs to be rested.
No. I'm
man.
I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. It's an absolute look. At the time podcast, big up yourself, bruv. Just the right. Well, I don't know if I can put this up on the screen. Effing spineless, even with 2 Pickford saves. Yeah, it was. The Pickford saves are not, bruv. This is what I'm saying. Pickford got man of the match because it was, outside of them 2 saves, it was handed to him, bruv.
Yeah.
We was just to be pathetic in front of goal, bro. We was not getting nothing. How many shots did we have on target outside of that? I don't think we had any. Outside of Rudiger and Azpilicueta chance, I don't really think we had any that tested.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. No.
So now my thing is this. I can't even look to the next. I don't even know who we're playing next.
I don't even know either. I need to check.
I couldn't even care less because you see the way we're moving. Any one of these 19 teams in the Premier League can beat us and get 3 points. That's how we're moving right now.
Wolves next Saturday. Just saying.
Shafi, what do I think is going to happen in the final? Based on what I can only go on what I've seen on our last game. Because you hear you're only as good as your last game. Yeah. If I'm basing that on that, I'm looking at a Liverpool 4-0, 5. Because my thing is remember, Chelsea, when we capitulate, sometimes we capitulate bad. And that capitulate bad could mean 2 or 3 goals in the space of 10, 15 minutes. And tell me, I dare somebody to tell me Liverpool do not have the capacity to do that against us.
Oh, they did it. They did it against City in the semi-final. First half, it was 3-0.
But City had the teeth to reply, though.
Exactly. We wouldn't. If that happens to us, it's toast. Just leave the ground. At that point, just go home. Forget the game.
We don't. This is why at the beginning of this stream, we said, bruv, for me, it's about getting 6 points. If we can get that, and my season's done. I'm not looking for anything in this FA Cup final. For me, it's going to be a case where, all right, lads, we're going in there with nothing to lose.
Whatever happens.
We get spanked 5-0, we get spanked 5-0. If we win it, great. That's how I'm going into it. Instead of, we should be going in there and beating these, man, all day long. We should be going in there.
I agree. Yeah.
And it was at the beginning of the season where we were saying these things. We should be going in there and getting that cup. We should be going there and getting these results. Remember, Liverpool ain't beaten us in 90 minutes all season. They had to go to penalties to get a win against us. This is going to be the time where it's not going to happen, especially the way they're playing now. These men won 40 out of 41. No, they got like 40 out of 40 something points. It was ridiculous. I don't know. It was some kind of number that was just stupid. It was just outrageous. We're just so far behind them. Now, Younes, the question is, let's get to the main part. In fact, first of all, how much time do you have left?
About 5-10 minutes on this one, definitely.
Okay, let's get quick 10 minutes in because we need to look forward and start looking at players that shouldn't be here and players that need to come into this club.
Yeah.
We're going to start from defensive positions going upwards.
Okay.
Centre backs. Christensen's already going.
Yep.
Rudiger's already going. Added to that list, Sarr needs to get out. Azpilicueta needs to get out. That's four centre backs that are out of the club now.
Azpilicueta could still be leaving as well. We'll wait.
Oh, he needs to go. There shouldn't be no could about it. He needs to go.
Yeah.
Then we've got wing back options. Alonso
could be going. Barca.
There you go. Alonso needs to go. Who else do we? There you go. So that's 5 defenders that already need to go. Oh, we forgot about Kepa. So that's 6. We cannot have a 72 million pound goalkeeper on the bench. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So that's 6. Now let's go to our midfield. Loftus-Cheek for me is not good enough to stay in this team. For us to be winning and competing at all fronts, he shouldn't be in the squad. Who else? Jorginho, I'm sorry, don't give him a new contract. Let him go. N'Golo Kante, the price is right. We sell him as well. I know that's going to upset some people, but we need to move on at some stage. There's younger players out there that can do a job for us, 1,000%. For me, I think Kante can go. Kennedy as well. I forgot about that. Kennedy can go as well. He's got no use in this club. We don't even use him. Don't even look at him. Do you know what I mean? So why is he even here? Who else is in that midfield that needs to go? Well, Saul, obviously, that loan was an absolute flop. Yeah, that's going to be terminated.
Barkley.
Ross Barkley, again. So this is already, that's more than 10 players that I've mentioned. And then now we move forward to the attackers. Who else needs to go? Michy Batshuayi needs to go. Yeah, he's still contracted to Chelsea.
Batman's still here. Bloody hell.
Yeah. Who else needs to go for me? Christian Pulisic, I'm sorry, and it's going to upset some people. Oh, he hasn't had an opportunity. He comes after. I don't care. He needs to go. Do you know why he needs to go? I can name 5 or 6 wingers off the top of my head that are better than him. So that's why he needs to go. Chelsea's a club where we shouldn't be able to name 2 or 3 players better than one of our players in each of our positions.
This
Nope.
is true.
Sorry. That's the standard that I have. Drinkwater's contract is almost up. I see people saying Drinkwater. That's gonna
Oh yeah,
sort itself out in the
Bakayoko. He's
summer.
coming back from loan.
Yeah,
Oh
he's
my
coming back. He's
God.
got another year left on his contract. Lukaku obviously needs to go. Can you see the mess that we're in?
Bro, and it brings you back, innit? How did we win the Champions
This is mad.
League?
Look how real this is. When you sit down, Younes, really sit down and think about this comment here. From
This is true. I
yourself,
completely agree with this. I completely agree. Fact. There's a reason for every single one of them, except for Kai. Yeah, to be sold.
What killed us is bringing players like Havertz, Werner, Lukaku, and Ziyech, and they haven't lived up to expectations. Nah, T-Dot, what killed us is the fact that 2 things, our scouting department and the fact Marina was given as much power on transfers as she was without a footballing brain. She's gone in these places with a commercial brain, working commercial deals and not footballing reasons, bruv.
Yeah, I agree. And on a business level, yeah, she's played the blinder, but on a football level, we're suffering.
This is what I mean. But this is why I don't agree that she needs to bounce from the club. If she has a role, she does. Just don't get involved in the team.
I think she
footballing decisions or
exactly
part of them negotiations. Give it to somebody who knows the value of players, who knows that because Marina's a thing where like I've got. Let's say for example, I'm not saying this is his figure. I'm just throwing out a number. We're gonna pay no more than £40 million for Tchouaméni. Yeah. Knowing that there's Real Madrid, Man City, PSG, etc., who are willing to pay 60. Yeah. Why can't you? We need somebody who's going to say, do you know what? We could have paid 25 M's for him last summer. His price tag is 80 this year. We got to bite the bullet and take the L and get that player. I'm not saying we do that for all of them, but you see that boy there, generational. If he comes to the Premier League away from Chelsea, it's going to make me sick. And it's going to make most of us sick. Similar situation with Declan Rice. Yeah, we got to bite the bullet. Eventually, we got to bite the bullet at some stage. 150 M's, I agree. We don't pay that for him. 120 M's, you don't pay that for him. But if they're not dropping below an 80 or 90 M's, we've got to bite the bullet and go for it.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, we still have to have the scouting team that's able to say, oh, this Luis Diaz guy for 40 M's might be a bargain, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. Or this Fabio Carvalho from Fulham for 11 M's or however much. He might be a bargain, you know. Let's get him here. Or Diego Jota. This guy, no one's looking at him at Wolves, but he's got the potential. Let's go and get him. We have to be able to do both. We can't just do one.
Fact.
Bruv, we are in big trouble. And I think, forgive me, people, for what I'm about to say, but understand I'm looking at this from the club, Chelsea Football Club, this badge on my chest perspective. The nature of which this happened was abysmal, but it might have been the right time to part from Roman. And why I say this is because of the structure and hierarchy that was been left in charge. Because since the Conte season, it's been what? How long since we've been challenging from a title?
Yeah, since Conte.
Every time
2017.
when we win a major trophy, how do we rebuild this team and reward our managers? You give them Lukaku and Saul. What was it in 2012?
Yeah.
What was it when we won the league even? The man asked for Lukaku, Barella, and Van Dijk. He got Barkley.
We got him Rudiger, at least. Morata, yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying here?
That was a shocking window, yeah.
So why are we shocked as Chelsea fans when these managers talk bad and take compensation from our club for not finishing their contracts?
Yeah.
Because Chelsea they're not even holding the word for these managers, bruv. And the same thing, I'm scared. Listen, I'll tell you straight up and down. I don't even think we're going to have the time for Tuchel to even get fired. I think he's going to walk before then. If Todd Bowley or Mr. Jim Ratters or whoever it is coming into this thing does not fix this situation in terms of outs and recruitment, Thomas Tuchel will not be Chelsea manager by the end of next season.
I agree, especially if it comes close to the end of his contract, which obviously he's had an extension obviously on it. But if there's not much time left on it, he can easily just walk because he knows the pay is not going to be something big to lose. He'd rather keep his sanity. So, yeah, we got to be careful.
Well, look, the only optimism that I have is that this capitulation has come at a point in the season. I mean, we've capitulated several times, but none as bad as this.
Yeah.
And this capitulation has come at a time where we can slyly afford for it to happen because there are 6 points between Champions League football and none. We can still get them 6 points, but it's still never acceptable at any stage in this season. But Younes, before you go, let's say tomorrow the season's done. Everything's played. FA Cup's played. What needs to be done? What is the immediate thing that needs to be done? Once the owners, we've got our owners, everything. What needs to be done, Younes?
When does the market open? June 1st.
Yep.
Yeah, June 1st we start doing business.
No,
June 1st we go in.
You know what I would even suggest? You see, if let's say he's announced and he is the owner by the end of next week, because he does have a window of exclusivity. Is it like 7 to 10 days or something?
7 days, yeah. 5 to 7 days.
Let's see if he does that. Let's see if we get that. You see, by mid-May, if he owns it by then, by mid-May, towards the end of the month, quite rightly, like Bommy just said here, this needs to be the first thing taken care of before I see any signing. That's the first thing. Then after that, before the windows open, I want us to have a window reminiscent of that season we got Fabregas into this club.
Exactly. That Costa and Fabregas. Yeah. They were there for pre-season.
If it's possible, it doesn't have to be all players, but if you get that DM in, if you get those wing backs in, if you get those 3 players before the window starts and they're holding a shirt on transfer day, that's a very good start. And then just as equally as important, we get the outs gone. But we cannot allow Marina to over-negotiate stuff and scare clubs away. At some point, we've got to take an L. We've got to free up the books. We've got to free up the wages to be bringing better quality players. Now, before you go, I'm going to leave this on another little kind of suspense thing. I'm not going into the season next season with Kai Havertz as our main striker, nor am I going in with him as Armando Broja as our second striker. You know why that is on Broja? He's young. To throw him in the limelight like this, because if it goes wrong for Kai Havertz and he's not scoring, the pressure's going to be on the young kid. It's going to be hard on him.
Yeah, that's true.
So this is where I say we need to start looking at a proper number 9. Yeah. To me, Haaland is not the answer because he's going to Manchester City. At this point, I thought it was going to be Real Madrid, but looks like he's going Man City. We need to start really looking at a player like Darwin Núñez. That's my guy that I think I've kept quiet, and people might think, but he's at Liga NOS or whatever. You don't know. That's gonna be on the next live. We're gonna discuss. That'll be me and you, Younes. Whenever you got some time, let's discuss some transfer targets. So we'll just lay out what we're gonna do on the next one. Next time Younes is on with me, we're gonna discuss a couple of players that we think can come into this Chelsea club. Attainable players as well, not just fantasy players. Attainable players that can come into this Chelsea club, make a difference. And maybe we won't compete for the league, but at least finish with a higher points tally than this season. That's my aim. Mentally right now, my aim next season is to finish with a much better points tally than this season. To be winning and competing with Liverpool and City is still a lot to ask. Plus, they still got at work in the transfer window. So we've got to see. We've got to see what happens. And another good thing is as well, Bommy's got another one. Although I wouldn't say Gnabry is the answer right now. I haven't looked into that too much, but I think we do need to explore the free market as well, 100%, because there are some bargains in there. You've got Frank Kessié, apparently. You've got that Boubacar Kamara. You've got Dybala, who quite a few want. Me, I'm worried about his injury record on that. But, bruv.
And Lewandowski's handing a transfer request, so that's all good.
There you go.
Screw it, we'll get him in.
There you go. Look, if anybody says there's no players out there to bring or whatever, this is the window where we can make several serious signings. And then the following window after that will just be, just add the finishing touches and perhaps even get closer to the title. You never know. But this is important. Younes, let the people know what you've got on the channel before I let you go.
So obviously I've done the match review for today. Tomorrow, not sure if I'll be uploading. If I am, I'll see what's going on. If not, then Tuesday we'll just give the latest, and then from there, it's just I think it's going to be a roundup of this whole ownership situation till next week when we got to play Wolves.
Facts.
And then Charity FC return. So looking forward
Facts. I'm seeing Bear Harry Kane in the chat. I said realistic. If you think for a second Daniel Levy is going to allow this guy to come to Chelsea, you lot are buzzing and probably smoking some of the pack that I'm about to smoke. Yeah. So Nunez for me is an option. Kunde also as well as another must. There's quite a few. And yes, I am worried about our top four. Very much worried about our top four. The interactive live, I think I'm gonna do that today. We're supposed to do back again. That will be done either after back again if that's not filmed too late, or I will do that early tomorrow. I haven't done an interactive live for a minute, so 1000%. I've got to do 100%. I've got to do one. But people, thank you very much for joining in wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Please make sure